Today, students at UNLV's Kerkorian School of Medicine and students across the nation learned where they will spend the next 3 to 7 years completing residencies in their chosen specialties. Matching to a top program is a highly competitive process. Previous Kerkorian School of Medicine graduates have matched at prestigious institutions including Harvard, Yale, Stanford, and Mayo Clinic. A percentage of graduates will match to programs here in Southern Nevada, which is often difficult due to a lack of federally funded residency positions. Matches are determined by a computer algorithm that sorts through each medical student's preferred programs and aligns their preferences with those ranked highest by their directory of residency programs.